Have you ever found yourself in a conversation with someone who seems to only care about themselves? Someone who turns every topic back to their own achievements, struggles, or opinions, leaving you feeling invisible? If so, you might have encountered a narcissist. Narcissism is a personality trait characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. But what if I told you that there's a way to communicate with a narcissist using just 3 words? Sounds impossible, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of narcissism and exploring a strategy that could change the way you interact with these challenging individuals. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this approach works, but also how to apply it in your own life. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content like this. Imagine this: you're at a family gathering, and your narcissistic cousin starts dominating the conversation, as usual. No matter what anyone says, they manage to steer the discussion back to themselves. You've tried reasoning with them, you've tried changing the subject, but nothing seems to work. Frustration builds, and you feel like you're hitting a brick wall. But what if there was a way to break through that wall with just 3 simple words? It might sound too good to be true, but the key lies in understanding the psychology of narcissism. Narcissists thrive on attention and validation. They need to feel important and admired, and they often go to great lengths to ensure they're the center of attention. This need for validation is rooted in deep-seated insecurities, which they mask with a facade of confidence and superiority. By understanding this, we can begin to see why certain communication strategies work better than others when dealing with narcissists. Now let's talk about those 3 magical words. Before we reveal them, it's important to understand why they work. Narcissists are often resistant to criticism or anything that challenges their self-image. They have a fragile ego that's easily bruised, and they'll go to great lengths to protect it. This means that direct confrontation or criticism is likely to backfire, leading to defensiveness, anger, or even retaliation. So instead of trying to change their behavior or point out their flaws, the key is to redirect the conversation in a way that disarms them without triggering their defenses. The 3 words we're about to discuss do exactly that. They're simple, non-confrontational, and yet incredibly effective at shifting the dynamic of the conversation. But before we get to that, let's take a closer look at what makes narcissists tick. Narcissists are often described as charming and charismatic, especially in the early stages of a relationship. They know how to make a great first impression, and they're skilled at drawing people in with their confidence and charm. However, as the relationship progresses, their true colors start to show. They become increasingly self-centered, demanding, and dismissive of others' needs and feelings. This is because their primary focus is on maintaining their self-image and securing the admiration and attention they crave. They're not interested in genuine connections or mutual respect. They're interested in what you can do for them. This is why dealing with a narcissist can be so exhausting and frustrating. It feels like you're constantly giving, while they're constantly taking. But what if there was a way to level the playing field? What if you could communicate with them in a way that doesn't feed their ego, but still gets your point across? That's where the 3-word strategy comes in. The 3 words we're talking about are, tell me more. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive. After all, if a narcissist is already dominating the conversation, why would you encourage them to talk even more? But here's the thing. When you say tell me more, you're not just giving them permission to talk, you're subtly taking control of the conversation. By asking them to elaborate, you're guiding the discussion in a direction that allows you to gather more information and better understand their perspective. This can be incredibly useful, especially if you're trying to navigate a difficult situation or resolve a conflict. But more importantly, it disarms the narcissist by giving them the attention they crave without feeding their ego in the way they expect. Let's break this down further. When you say, tell me more, You're essentially flipping the script. Instead of resisting their need for attention, you're embracing it, but on your terms. This can catch them off guard, because it's not the reaction they're used to. Typically, people either try to compete with the narcissist for attention, or withdraw from the conversation altogether. Both of these responses can escalate the situation, as the narcissist will either feel threatened or become even more self-absorbed. But by saying, "Tell me more," you're neither competing nor withdrawing. You're engaging in a way that's both neutral and strategic. This can help to de-escalate the situation and create a more balanced dynamic. It's a subtle but powerful shift that can make a big difference in how the conversation unfolds. But why does this approach work so well? To understand this, we need to delve a little deeper into the psychology of narcissism. Narcissists are often driven by a need to feel superior and in control. They want to be the ones who set the agenda, who call the shots, who dictate the terms of the conversation. When you say, "Tell me more," you're subtly challenging this dynamic. You're not letting them control the conversation. Instead, you're guiding it in a way that allows you to gather information and maintain your own sense of agency. This can be incredibly disarming for a narcissist, as it disrupts their usual pattern of behavior. They're used to people either resisting them or giving in to them, but they're not used to someone who can engage with them in a way that's both neutral and assertive. This is why the three-word strategy can be so effective. Now let's talk about how to use this strategy in real-life situations. Imagine you're at work, and your narcissistic boss is going on and on about how great they are at their job. Instead of rolling your eyes or trying to change the subject, you say, "Tell me more." This simple phrase can shift the dynamic of the conversation in a way that's both subtle and powerful. By asking them to elaborate, you're giving them the attention they crave, but you're also taking control of the conversation. You're guiding it in a direction that allows you to gather more information and better understand their perspective. This can be incredibly useful, especially if you're trying to navigate a difficult situation or resolve a conflict. But more importantly, it disarms the narcissist by giving them the attention they crave without feeding their ego in the way they expect. Another scenario where this strategy can be useful is in personal relationships. Let's say you're in a relationship with a narcissistic partner who constantly talks about themselves and dismisses your needs and feelings. Instead of getting into an argument or withdrawing from the conversation, you say, "Tell me more." This can help to de-escalate the situation and create a more balanced dynamic. By asking them to elaborate, you're not only giving them the attention they crave, but also subtly guiding the conversation in a way that allows you to express your own needs and feelings. This can be a powerful way to assert yourself without triggering their defenses. But what if the narcissist doesn't take the bait? What if they continue to dominate the conversation despite your efforts to redirect it? This is where the three-word strategy can be combined with other communication techniques to create a more effective approach. For example, you can use active listening to show that you're genuinely interested in what they have to say, while also setting boundaries to ensure that your own needs are met. You can also use reflective statements to validate their feelings without necessarily agreeing with them. The key is to remain calm, assertive, and in control of the conversation, even when the narcissist is trying to steer it in a different direction. It's also important to remember that the three-word strategy is not a one-size-fits-all solution. While it can be incredibly effective in certain situations, it's not going to work in every case. Narcissists are complex individuals with a wide range of behaviors and motivations, and what works for one person might not work for another. That's why it's important to be flexible and adaptable in your approach. If one strategy doesn't work, don't be afraid to try something else. The key is to remain calm, assertive, and in control of the conversation, even when the narcissist is trying to steer it in a different direction. Another important aspect of dealing with narcissists is to take care of your own mental and emotional well-being. Dealing with a narcissist can be incredibly draining, And it's important to set boundaries to protect yourself from their toxic behavior. This might mean limiting your interactions with them, seeking support from friends and family, or even seeking professional help if necessary. Remember, you can't change a narcissist, but you can change how you respond to them. By taking care of yourself and setting healthy boundaries, you can create a more balanced and fulfilling life, even in the presence of a narcissist. In conclusion, dealing with a narcissist can be incredibly challenging, but it's not impossible. By understanding the psychology of narcissism and using strategic communication techniques like the three-word strategy, you can navigate these difficult interactions with greater ease and confidence. Remember, the key is to remain calm, assertive, and in control of the conversation, even when the narcissist is trying to steer it in a different direction. And don't forget to take care of yourself, because your mental and emotional well-being is just as important as the conversation itself. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation with a narcissist, try saying, "Tell me more," and see what happens. You might be surprised at the results. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful articles like this one. And if you have any experiences or tips for dealing with narcissists, feel free to share them in the comments below. Your feedback is always appreciated, and I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, take care and stay strong.